I would like to contextualize what's happening in India in the context of what's happening in the world. We are seeing an unprecedented urbanization and migration and people moving to cities. This is challenging because, just merely moving to a city doesn't change your mindset. Things are physically happening at a faster pace than psychologically. Over and above everything else is the fact that India has about a sixth of the world's population, but only about 2.4% of the world's land. So there's this big tug of war between environment and development. But the real bigger challenge, I think, for architects and urban planners and all of that is that we have to deliver all of this at a much faster pace than Europeans and Americans had to do when urbanization took place in their context. Does it sound challenging enough? Architects could be very useful in this kind of urban transitions, particularly now. The knowledge that architects have to synthesize our strategies to consider everything. And that's what we know how to do. And so I think this is a particularly interesting moment for architects to help steering urbanization in the right direction, because I think that in the times of crisis, it's very important not to just act in haste. I think it's important to take the time, because in moments like these, one is worried about throwing the baby with the bathwater. We think the challenge is so big and everyone's acting in haste. People are building without thinking, and that is really scary. There's maybe a banal physical materiality to architecture itself. When I knit my own sweater, I can do whatever I want. Or if I bake my own cake, if someone has an allergy, I can just take that thing off. So while we use machines and when we have all of these technological advances, that I'm very happy about. I'm not against that. I'm more concerned about over-standardization, where a standard product doesn't meet your need and you continue using it just because you don't feel empowered enough to just make the thing. So I like to use both. I like to use whatever's best. I never want to forget how to make things, because if what others have made is not good enough, I'm just going to make what I would like to have. The way people of a place, even if the idea is global, if it were made by people of the place, it anchors it to the place, and people are proud of it because their contribution is seen. And if you just make everything out of standard catalogs, and every building in Singapore or Dubai and Brisbane looks all the same. Every idea requires a technology, a choice of a material that is appropriate, hopefully in today's time, but also a choice of a technology. Like if it's a stone building, it could be made in a high-tech or a low-tech or a variety of ways. And that technology, the choice of that technology with that material, involve making a deliberate choice about whether to what extent high-tech and low-tech are negotiated, machine and man-made are negotiated. All of that, it's like, as if the soul lives in the body. So the body is important. And that's where the crafts come in.